Eric. We'll give Pete like 5 minutes in case he's just running late or something. But I seem to recall that today is his wife's birthday or something. Or was that last week? No, last week was Mother's Day. That's why. That's why we didn't play. It's actually funny because you guys both said that like, oh, it's Mother's Day, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's okay. We'll just play without you. He heard people speaking, and he's like, unknown people, alarm, alarm. Well, first off, before we get started, does everyone remember what happened last session? I was going to say last week, but it's not last week.
I know that we triggered something and we come out of the teleporter thingy.
Yeah, so to clarify, the 4 platforms are semicircular platforms are attached to a circular pillar that runs from floor to ceiling in the center of the room. And you did maybe you did something, maybe it was on a timer, maybe it was just coincidence. But the platform that you were standing on shot into the ceiling, almost crushing you in the process, or at least moving you to another floor in the process. But you managed to dive off. And in place where they were before, 4 platforms below rose from a lower room, carrying 4 of these these construct things. And they appear to be pulling themselves off from metal protrusions that stuck out from the central pillar. And that was when we were rolling initiative, which I don't think anyone else has rolled initiative yet. So if you want to go ahead and roll initiative, we'll give Pete another 2 minutes.
That seems right.
Oh God.
That could have been better.
Can we get a reroll?
I'll roll for Pete in a moment. If Pete's not here, do you guys want me to play for Pete, or do you?
You can play for Pete.
Rex, do you want to play for Pete?
Whoever can play for Pete.
Yeah, I'll play great. I don't know any of the spells or any shit like that, but you know, I can be a snooty wizard.
Yes, just put on your fake French accent and.
My name is Talos. You should remember that from last time.
That's almost Russian.
He said to do something. He told me something almost Russian. He said that to me. Those were his words. I shit you not. He just told me to use my Calder voice. He said that would be perfect. I don't see it personally, but you know, that's what he said to me.
You should be able to see his sheet, so if you want to go ahead and roll initiative for him.
I can use my incredibly offensive and awful French accent, where it's just a laugh and saying baguette.
Baguette.
Baguette. And just fireball everything.
I just imagine Lumiere.
Lumiere.
I drink my wine, I eat my baguette and cheese, and I throw fireballs.
I'm so.
I really hope this is being recorded.
Oh yes, it has been.
Oh boy.
Whatever. I'm never going to run for office, and that's probably not the worst thing I've said today.
Okay. So, to clarify on the sheet, are the blank circles free spell slots?
The red circles are spent, and the white circles are unspent.
Right.
I think he hasn't cast many spells today.
Yeah, so he's got one level 2 spell spent, yeah?
Yeah. He's casted a bunch of firebolts, but he's cast one Scorching Ray, which is what
Right.
that one level 2 was spent on. If you don't know what to do for the first turn, I was going to default to him casting Mirror Image because he's currently being threatened by melee, and then like possibly running away, or at least getting putting some distance between them.
I was considering the withdraw action or whatever.
Yeah, that could work as well. You selected yourself accidentally, but that's okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, can you manually put them in? She was 10.4.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
So before we get started, how has everyone been during the week, during the past couple of weeks?
I've been all right.
Yeah, all right sums it up.
I'm actually quite happy I don't have to plan anything for my game on Mondays now that we're just going to run Strahd.
I mean, you still have to.
I still got some things, but I mean, I've been reading through the book, but it's easy enough.
All right, are you okay with my character?
Yeah. You seem. Is she going to have a French accent?
No. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
She
I
was
can't
so
do a French
far
accent,
away.
so.
Neither can I. You heard it. It doesn't stop me.
I'm going to have to respond by saying we. Anyway, Tylos is up first. Rex, what does Tylos do?
Tylos is a clever motherfucker, and he is going to, some would say withdraw, but Tylos would like to consider it a tactical reposition so that he might have a better view of the battlefield.
Okay.
So he's going to withdraw to, is this a space here?
Yes, it is a space.
Is that high ground?
It's not considered high ground, but you have partial cover from the bottom two automatons if they were to range attack you.
Okay, he shall do that because Tylos belongs somewhere high up. So we can do Tylos things.
Okay.
That is
Now-
Tylos' turn.
Now, I should ask you, are you using the withdraw action, or are you taking the dodge action and then moving out?
Tylos is he's withdrawing.
Okay. Okay. It is this automaton's turn. It has essentially two targets. So I will roll from left to right.
Which one are you pointing at?
The right top corner. Okay, so it's going to go after Luna. So it steps off its platform. This tendril thing, not tendril. This piston type thing withdraws from its back and withdraws back into the little hole that you guys saw. That was like chest height on the central pillar. It comes out of its back and back into the pillar, and then it steps off the platform, turns, brings up its arm, and takes one or two swings at Luna. Let me take a look. I think it's one swing. Opening up sheets. It is one swing. Yes. So it swings its little scrappy metal arm fixture. It's basically like a sharpened scrap metal affixed to its left arm. It attempts to carve you in half. I think that hits you for 4 piercing damage.
Yes.
Hopefully your tetanus shot is up to date.
No, it's not.
Hal, it is Hal's turn.
Okay. Hal shouts, Lith, get out of the way! And she runs over here to try and sort of put herself between the bulk of her robot bros and Lith. And she's going to use her action to activate her amulet. Because she's throwing herself between multiple enemies here. This is probably a good time to use that. So she brings her fists together and uses her amulet. It's a big flashy glow of light. She's covered in that same sort of colourful spectral armour.
Yep.
The Omni armour, that's the one.
Yep, Omni armor.
She grabs her quarterstaff, twists it in the middle, telescopes it outward, and takes a defensive pose.
Okay.
Mechanically nothing, but she's
Yeah,
standing there.
yeah. I gotcha.
That's okay.
This chap has again 2 targets as well. Roll 20 is being so weird. This chap is actually going to come after you. It actually steps towards Lith, but then you kind of see it look at Lith and then kind of turn its head towards you, and then it repositions its body to face you. So like its head stays locked onto you, and it repositions
That's
its
right.
body
Okay, don't do that.
towards you.
Fucking dog. I will go John Wick on your asses.
And then again, it is going to try and skewer you with a rather nasty, rusty-looking piece of metal. That's probably not good. Oh, actually, I think that hits, right?
That does hit, but I think that doesn't get through 10 HP.
No, it doesn't, yeah.
Fuck.
So yeah, it strikes out. It pierces actually past this projected translucent plate armor made of light, and some of the panels shatter and flick out. But it scrapes off the side of your actual clothing and doesn't manage to draw blood.
I imagine after this, like the armor kind of repositions to fill in the shattered gap.
Yeah,
but
you can kind of see it flowing
Yeah.
from panel to panel.
But like every plate is kind of dimmer now because it's it's stretched out kind of.
Okay. Lith, in kind of reactive response, is going to snap out at this creature, trying to gnaw its middle bones. Maybe it's just a big middle bone. Maybe that's how this works. Unfortunately, as much as it might look like a metal skeleton, it's still made out of metal. So you hear the telltale sounds of teeth scraping on metal. It is going to duck behind you. Honu and Luna, could you roll me a perception check?
Yeah, sure.
That's perfect.
Yes, this is perfect.
Okay,
Wait,
so
what?
let me roll something. In fact, I should start using my real die. Okay, so you guys see Lith, and I guess Hal, you see Lith as well, like bite this thing across the knee, and then she turns tail and ducks behind your leg, and when you're more focused on eye to eye with this thing. But Honu and Luna, you see Lith duck behind Hal out of sight from you. It's kind of like weird because like Lith runs behind her, but doesn't come out the other side. And then and for all intents and purposes, she's nowhere in the room.
That's interesting.
This one.
It's a natural one.
Yeah, Hanu, you're not even you're getting ready to brain this automaton.
I was thinking by the time I got tetanus.
It steps off the platform and it takes a swing at you, Hanu.
14.
Okay, that is going to miss. It just it grazes off your tough hide skin, and I think the middle. One of the middle filaments actually just shatters because of its rusted nature. Luna, it is now your turn.
Luna goes kind of big.
Alright, so you're wild shaping to a direwolf.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do I have a direwolf token? I do not. For now, we will just
Resize
pretend
me.
you're a direwolf. We'll just pretend you're a direwolf.
Ow.
So you're technically a large creature, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. And you are a. I always fail to remember if you're a moon wizard, if you're a moon druid, or if you're a land druid.
Moon. But
Right, so-
not that level yet. I get it next level.
Oh, okay. So that's your action this turn, right?
Yes. Yes.
Did you do anything with your bonus action before you turned into a direwolf?
No. No.
Okay. Esmeralda is going to run up this ramp. She pops over. She pops her head through this ramp as she hears the ruckus. She already has a bow drawn. I think the bow one of you gave her, right?
Yeah, I think I gave it to her.
And she knocks it out. She says something rather unladylike underneath her breath as she sees all this ferocious thrashing and stabbing. She knocks an arrow and lets loose. Now, I need to remember what her stats were because I don't actually have it written down. You know what? I'm going to roll physical die because I bought this die and I've yet to use it like legitly. So that's 9. Yeah, that's definitely going to. These things don't have amazing AC. What's the damage die on a? Was it a short bow or was it a long bow? I think this was Hal's, right?
It would have been a short bow, I think. As long as
I think it was one we found off of the dead elves.
Oh,
I
yes.
Did they have a bow? I know they had a quiver. I don't know if they had a bow.
So what you would have remembered is that everything that was metal was gone. The short bow, the bows and stuff were still intact and still there. I'll just roll max damage. Yeah, so she knocks an arrow. She plants one straight in the one that's still on the platform, and she the arrow gets it sticks into the back of this thing's torso. It strikes something, and there's a grinding sound, like someone who's completely inept at manual transmission. You know the sound.
Yeah.
And then the arrow wobbles, and then suddenly the arrow gets sucked into this thing's chest, as if it's been pulled in by some sort of grinding mechanism. And this thing jerks and shudders, and it begins to spasm uncontrollably. But it is still up. Honu, it is now your turn.
I'll say, "Don't worry, puppy. I won't let it hurt you, and I will rage." Got one more of them left, and then I'm going to recklessly attack this shithead in front of me.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, you smash one of its hands right off its bolt throwing hand.
And level 3, so that's my turn.
Okay. It is now the one that's spasming and jerking. For whatever reason, it stumbles backwards from you, Hal. You get an attack opportunity.
Oh shit! Give me a sec. Oh shit!
Okay, so yeah, you just bring up your quarterstaff. Describe how you reduce this thing to component parts.
I feel like she brings the quarterstaff almost sort of partway around behind her and just tries to get as much spin on that swing as possible. Sort of lifting it up at the start of the swing, then bringing it down with the full rotation, clocking across the fucking head and bending it on an awkward fucking angle, knocking it off the platform with the force of hit as it sort of goes limp.
Yeah, and it's almost like your blow damaged something that's integral structural integrity. And it was already seizing and spasming before, but some sort of mechanism inside just ends up coming loose, and it rips to pieces, and bits and pieces and sprockets and gears and springs and pieces of sharp metal just go raining all over the place and into the room. and it is completely trashed. Tylos's turn.
Okay, does Tylos have a twinned spell thing?
I think he has shaped spell, and he has.
Because I feel like he was
Something else.
talking about twinned fireballs,
Yeah, okay,
and
so here
everyone
we
was
go.
saying, no, you can't twin fireballs.
He has a sculpt spell, which allows him to avoid AoE attacks on his friend.
I don't know what it says on his sheet, but I swear, like last time, he tried to use a twinned. What was it?
Yeah.
Twin Scorching Ray, and you said you can't because it targets multiple creatures.
Yeah, he can twin
I-
Fireball, but he can't twin Scorching Ray.
Yeah. It's like, actually, it
Yeah.
might be a bit of a waste to twin a Firebolt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck it. He's going to use a Firebolt on. Yep, he's going to raise a hand, light his little Firebolt in his fingers, inspect it for a moment before throwing to make sure it's adequately, destructive. And then he's going to give a little flick of his wrist and toss it at the one down the bottom here.
Okay.
As soon as I find the thing for that.
You can just click the name. Yeah.
17 for 11.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah. So his firebolt sears into this thing's side, and you see almost like a heat bloom, pass from one side of his chest out the other, and you start seeing slagged components start leaking out of various cracks and openings in its ramshackle armor plating that's on the outside, and the thing kind of its legs seize up completely, but the upper half is still working. It's almost like whatever was controlling its motor functions in the lower half has just been completely slagged, and it is looking pretty badly hurt. One might say that it has single-digit hit points if you were calculating the well-being of people via hit points. Does he move?
He does not. He is quite happy with his high position here. That is Tylos' turn.
It is now the dog catcher automaton. Sorry, wolf catcher automaton. Okay. It is going to attempt to make a large, nice wolfy coat. Does a 12 hit a direwolf? I don't think it does.
No, he's a 14. He's a 14.
So yeah, you nimbly manage to dodge out of its way as it attempts to shank you. Maybe it's confused because it seems like it was still aiming for like a halfling-sized creature, when now there is a large-sized wolf-like creature, and it ends up stabbing mostly nothing as you dodge out of the way. It is now Hal's turn.
Hal takes her quarterstaff and she swings it in a kind of uppercut motion at the one in the bottom right of her.
Okay.
21 for 11.
Yeah, again,
She knocks this thing the fuck over, plants the quarterstaff on the ground, sort of behind her, over her shoulder, and then using that for leverage, she spins around and throws a high kick at the one above her. As soon as I find that.
that is going to smash directly into an armor plating on its back. It buckles the armor plating, but it doesn't seem to do any physical damage to internal mechanisms inside. The one that with the slagged lower half, however, when you smash it with your quarterstaff, it just twists in half as if something internal has just let go. And as it falls, its head lands against some sort of metal fixture or pipe, and there's just a scattering of fine little metal components and weird gears and stuff. And this thing crumples to a slag heap and lays still. It is now. Well, it's not his turn. He's dead. Non-operational. Let's not call it dead. This one that you just punched in the back actually turns around and attempts to stab you instead of stabbing at Honu, which it would have advantage on. But you just I guess you just like lean out of the way, like it's not even close.
She's got a like foot in the air from trying to kick it. So I imagine as he tries to stab, she sort of brings her foot down and sort of intercepts the blow a bit with that. Can't get force behind it.
Lunar dogs. Wow, lunar wolf. Sorry,
Luna dogs.
my bad. Politically incorrect.
Technically, I'm part of the family of dog families. So yes, technically correct. Luna dog is going to do the one off to the top of the screen. Try and bite it. I doubt a six hits. It's double one.
You might be on whisper to yourself because I don't see the roll. Yeah, so roll again. Don't worry about that. Yeah, wow, what is with 11 damage? That seems to be the magic number this time. So yeah, it's trying to shank you with its like scrap claw thing. And you kind of just like reach up and clamp your teeth down on this thing's arm, not the bladed side, but like the upper side where there is no blade, and you begin to do the dog, the wolf, like shaking backwards and forwards, left and right kind of thing, and you actually wrench its right arm right off its shoulder, and it flails around a bit. With only one arm.
It needs to make a strength.
Do you move?
It needs to make a strength.
Oh yeah, okay, strength save, yeah. This thing doesn't have amazing strength, so here we go. Okay, so as you're yanking its arm from its shoulder, it unbalances and kind of twists and topples over, and then falls to a metallic clang as it slams into the ground. It is now considered prone.
Another realm, Callista pees on it.
Esmeralda doesn't have line of sight on the other one that Hal and Honu are fighting. And this one is prone, so it's not exactly the best shot. She picks up. She steps over, and she picks up like some kind of like metal chunk, like large metal. It's almost like a metal pipe that's essentially a crowbar, but without the flattened tip. From like this dead automaton over here, like she wrenches it from its torso or something, and she steps over and she uses it as an improvised club, and she just brings it down on this thing, trying to club its head off. 13 is its armor class, so she yeah, she brings this pipe down on it and she caves its head in, and it just stops spasming and it's just still. That's her turn. Kill my cat's claws. Honu.
Rinse and repeat. Same thing. I'm not going to get around the puppy, so I'm just going to recklessly attack the one beneath me.
Yeah, you have describe how you want to put this last one down. As it has it.
I literally want to cave its face off. Just slam this weapon right in its face, and it crumples and just falls over.
So you bring your war weapon down on its head, and you punch its head directly into its torso, and it stumbles forwards a bit. It turns around, and it reaches up to kind of like touch where its head would be, but there's no head, and then it just stumbles sideways like 2 or 3 steps, and then falls over towards the left and crumples.
I told you were safe, puppy.
You hear a bark in response to your comment as as Lith barks from the doorway that you guys came through and top.
I was referring to Luna because she went wolf form, so now he's got 2 puppies.
Oh, okay. Lith thought you were talking to her.
Lilith isn't in danger at all.
But yeah, we're out of initiative as you guys annihilate the automatons that have been delivered to you.
Praise be unto RNGesus for this combat.
Why, with all the high rolls? Yeah, Left comes over to you and she kind of like puts her shoulder against your leg and is just kind of like leaning on you.
Hell applies mad air scratches. Fuck yeah. Good dog.
There's a low. You can feel just through your fingers and your like her bodily contact with your leg that she's letting out like a low, like inaudible growl. It's almost like a tension thing.
I want to take my club to the one whose head I just bashed in and just start like prying him open to see if there's any gold in him.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check. You know what? Instead of adding your intelligence modifier, let's add your strength modifier to this intelligence investigation check.
Because I rolled a 10, so it would be a 13. It would be a 13 instead of the 8 because I have -2 intelligence.
Okay. It's probably the very first strength investigation check that I've ever asked for.
I'll just keep bashing it with the club.
Yeah. So you render it open. You don't find any golden component, but you do find a curiosity. Inside its chest cavity area, near the back of its like spine area, you find a large, like a maybe not head size, softball sized. Not that you know what a softball is.
What?
Coconut sized dodecahedron. That seems to be made out of some sort of metallic substance.
Is it attached to anything?
It seems to be attached to various kind of like rotating shafts.
I want to rip it out. I want to rip it out of its chest and roll it on the ground and see what I get.
Okay, roll me a d20.
Before I take it out, can I take a picture of it with my the scout thingy? Ooh, this is neat. I just click.
Yeah. You don't really get much sensible readings upon it, except that that the material is some sort of low-grade iron steel.
Okay.
And it says, and it has like tags like heavily corroded, blah 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 blah. You know, science stuff that you don't understand.
Talos sees the thingy and he wants it.
Okay.
Because he's
This is mine.
Well, Talos wants to look at it.
There's more, and I'll be like, brother, just open up another one, and I'll go to another one and rip him open too.
Okay. Yeah. So hunting for them, you find one in each of them. The one with the slag one, the bottom portion of this dodecahedron is like I said, is melted. The most intact one is the automaton that Luna Dog killed. The one that Esmeralda brained its head in with a pipe. That one's dodecahedron seems largely intact. So yeah, I guess Talos would be the most interested in such a device.
And of course, the most capable of deducing what its purposes
Yeah,
are
so-
and whatnot.
So why don't you roll me a... what would this check be, actually? You know what? I mean, it's not technically magic, but I think Arcana would be applicable. But how about, it's still the same thing. Roll me an investigation Arcana.
Yeah.
It's the same check. So he can tell that when he manipulates it with various tools, he can tell that the location where this thing is located would be where you guys saw that the weird protrusion thing from the central pillar would plug into one of the faces of this dodecahedron. And you see, like when you manipulate it with a tool, there seems to be like a hexagonal socket on it where that face would be, and you're able to rotate that socket counterclockwise, but not clockwise. And when he does so, he hears and he puts his ear to the dodecahedron. He can hear the telltale sounds of a clockwork spring being wound up. You know, that click, 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 click sound.
I can hear the telltale sounds of a clockwork spring being wound up.
I don't even know what that means, but you can have mine. I'm on board with it, and I'll throw mine to the dodecahedron. And also I'm also looking around for more automatons to smash.
The more you wind it, the more Tylos winds it, the harder it is to wind, as if like there's a maximum tension and he's approaching it. But Tylos deduces from his Arcana investigation roll that this thing is the automaton's power source. It's a clockwork spring that's wound up, and the pillar evidently is the like charging station, if that's a word, for a clockwork automaton.
Now what would Tylos do? Honu, keep winding this. And he gives it to Honu. Let's keep winding it and see what happens. Science!
I'm going to wind it until it breaks.
Roll me a strength check. Athletics, you can use athletics.
Hell is afraid of science and she backs up.
Well, if it's athletics, it's a 16.
Okay, roll me a 1d100. Okay.
Blows up.
So yeah, you wind it until it reaches maximum tension, and then you twist it some more, and there's a sharp crackling sound, and the dodecahedron begins to violently joust about in your hand, so much so that you're in danger of just like losing control of it and dropping it. Do you wish to maintain hold of it, or do you just want to drop it?
No little stupid thing is the boss of me. I'm going to hold it and keep twisting it.
Okay. So imagine that you're holding a extremely powerful one of those infomercial shake weights, but instead of just shaking up and down, it's also shaking forwards and backwards and left and right. And
this is stupid things like the boss of Honu. I'll show it who's boss. Twist, twist, twist.
All right, roll me a strength saving throw.
Oh, that's perfect. Honu blows up. It's been fun, guys.
So eventually, as you clasp your arms around it in a bear hug and you begin to squeeze down, trying to attempt to hold this thing from basically from leaping out of your hands. Eventually, there's a sharp, like, bang sound as something just gives way. And this thing comes apart in your hand. And a piece flies up and hits you underneath the chin. And then another piece flies down and hits you on the crotch.
Ow! Why did you have me do that? And then what's left back to him.
So you take
because science.
You take 3 jaw damage and 2 crotch damage, adding up to 5 bludgeoning damage.
Is the crotch damage double considered a crit? Sorry, no, ignore me.
No.
Oh my junk, Honu her.
But yeah, you hand over the reduced components, and it is a spring unlike anything you've seen before. It is not a circular spring. it is a. It almost looks like a ball of yarn, but the ball of yarn is capable of being tightened. And as it relaxes, it has like the elastic spring power of pushing out components. And there's various like mechanisms and gears inside that kind of converts the pushing power of it expanding to locomotive energy to rotate various mechanisms. But it is trashed. Like you'd struggle to figure out how this thing was put together. Like it is junk. All right. So what's Luna doing during this time as Luna Dog?
Luna Dog is staying as a dog because she's not gonna waste for a while. She's going to like curl up on the corner.
Yeah, I think Esmeralda is keeping you company. She seems a little bit, judging by. Yeah, actually, roll me an insight check. Yeah, she seems like, I wouldn't say scared, but like it's clear that she doesn't want to be in this place. This place is kind of weirding her out a little bit. So she's naturally sticking closest to what she thinks is safety. In this case, it's you.
You mean it's not the overly special needs guy that broke the machine with his hands?
Oh,
Well, you seem to be doing something dangerous, so no, she's staying away from you.
I'm watching Lilith.
Oh, yeah. Lith seems to be following Hal around fairly closely. She's sniffing at the various automatons and nooks and corners and pipes and fixtures and stuff like that. But overall, it seems more. It seems more pure. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's a desiccated corpse.
Actually, wait, I want to have Hal try and communicate with Liv.
Okay.
She's going to say, can you smell more of them? Can she smell them? Maybe.
And you say this in common, yes?
She probably speaks to Liv in Elvish, like, as habit. Because she
Okay.
responded in Elvish that first time.
Yeah. Lith goes in response to your question. She turns and she like noses. She sniffs at where the central platform that the platform that you're standing on, where it meets like the current floor of this room. There's like an almost infinitesimal crack, where to differentiate between where the platform is and where the floor is. She kind of sniffs at that little crevice, and then she lets out a low, almost inaudible growl.
Underneath us.
Yeah, she paws, not like digging paws, but she like reaches forwards with her paw and just scratches at the ground.
So it seems like there's definitely more of them. Maybe they're underneath us, but maybe it's just because the smell is on the platform. I'm not sure. What's the blinky thing in the corner near Esmeralda?
So when Kylos had cast Detect Magic previously, and in fact, no, it's probably run out by now, but previously when he cast Detect Magic, he detected various spots up on the wall near the ceiling where there's an emanation of divination magic, but there's no obvious source to divination magic.
Has he investigated this part of the wall yet? If not, he shall do so.
I think he will really freaking low.
Yeah, I seem to recall correctly as well. But you know what? New session, we'll use a new rule. If he wants to, he can renew his sense magic, detect magic. I'll leave it up to you if he wants to do it ritually or if he wants to spend a spell slot.
Party votes
I think it's...
ritually.
Hey?
I'll leave it up to you guys. You guys can do a vote of 3 if he wants to do it ritually or if he wants to do it spell slot.
It was really for me. This desiccated corpse. Didn't you say his hand was like stuck under a door or something?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No. So if you recall correctly, there is no doors, and the only doors that you guys have seen so far is a big central door to the central whatever is in the center of this tower, and that's on the other side as well. It's not on your side. Actually, let me check if there's a door on your side. Yeah, there's a door on your side as well. It's on the side that you're currently on. Let me just open up dynamic lighting a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. How's that? So yeah, there's a door there as well. It's identical to the other door that you saw before.
This kind of we searched the corpse. I believe it was one of the first things we did when we got here.
Yeah. Again,
So this kind of
you've noted that the corpse must be at least decades old. Like it's desiccated.
I'm just gonna get bored and like kind of lean up against the wall and sit down and try to call Lilith over so I can pet her.
Okay, yeah, no, she'll come over to whoever calls her, and kind of just hang out a bit. She seems more like nervous as well as nervous/curious, sniffing around at various things. Tyler spends 10 minutes casting this ritual. What do the rest of you do during this time?
I'm playing.
I think Esmeralda would approach. Tylos looks like he's clearly busy. Esmeralda will approach Hal and say, not to question your current activities, but are you sure we should be in here? It doesn't seem the most safest of places.
Darling, if I wanted a safe place, I would have stayed in the Nexus.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, okay.
I stopping there.
I will go check if our way out is still clear. I'll give you a shout if I see anyone coming.
Hey, good idea.
Yeah, so she makes her way back up the rubble pile, and you hear her moving towards the entrance space.
So this is a door right next to Hal, correct?
Correct.
So we should probably investigate that at some point.
Yeah, it's identical to the door that you saw on the other side. It seems largely seamless, and there's no obvious way to open it, like a handle or some sort of lever or mechanism.
Is there some kind of metal thing jutting out?
No. Well, there are. So the door it does have features, like it has like a box-shaped embossment that comes out around the edges. But there's no like rivets, there's no handles, there's no levers, there's no protrusions that you would obviously hold on to move the door.
So there's no like hexagonal shape that's sticking out that we might stick one of
No.
the right.
There's no obvious keyhole as well or anything that you might plug into it to make it open. As for these openings, remember that the green stuff is basically a rubble pile that is piled up halfway up the wall, and then these things are like openings that form from the ceiling down to about halfway up the wall.
Is there any visible sign of where the rubble came from? Is that fallen from the ceiling, or is it just mysteriously there?
It's rubble. It's almost completely metallic trash, like junk components, scrap metal, bits of twisted and broken pipe. It seems like someone or something has just. It seems to be. It doesn't seem to have fallen from anywhere. It seems to be compiled here to form these ramps.
Right.
All right. So, do the rest of you plan on doing anything during Tylos's ritual casting, or are you just taking him away?
I'm just petting him off the entire, like, all 10 minutes, like a special needs child that found the puppy he loves.
Lilith seems appreciative of your ministrations, and I assume you spend 10 minutes trying to figure out how to open this door.
I was going to say looking around in general, but opening the door would also be a good option.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
Give me a sec.
Didn't I throw myself at that door last time?
Yes, you did, and you hurt yourself.
I
It was
remember
that strong.
Nice.
Oh, interesting. Huh. So at some point, for whatever, out of whimsy or out of frustration of not figuring out how to open this door, you decide maybe you just, for laughs, maybe you just need to knock. So you decide to give a couple of experimental raps on the door with your knuckles, and it doesn't behave as you expected it. There's almost when you knock the door, it's almost as if you are knocking a bell. There's a harmonizing reverb to your knocks. Like the sound of your knocks lasts for much longer than you would expect to have knocking on a metal door.
Oh.
And the reverb fades after about 2 or 3 seconds.
Did you hear that?
My ears perk.
Yeah, and I think it's about this time that Tylos finishes his detect magic, and he examines this thing more closer with his arcane sight, and he begins to reference certain. He pulls out like some sort of an arcane textbook, and he starts flipping through the pages and mumbling underneath his breath. Roll me an Arcana check for Talos. I'll give him advantage on this.
17.
Okay, so Talos will determine through his studies and his referencing that this is some sort of arcane sensor, and that fills him with a little bit of alarm because essentially it's a security camera. And when he glances around the place with his arcane sight, he notices that there are several more of these spots situated strategically throughout this entire place. And in fact, when he goes back in through the front as well, he sees that there are several of them there also. He would inform you, or he would know at least. I don't know if it's up to you if you want him to inform the rest of you that it's likely that you're all currently under observation by whoever operates this place.
Is there any kind of blind spot?
There is not. They are situated in such a place that there is no blind spot in this place.
Can I take a picture of it?
You take a picture of it. The device doesn't capture the magical energy.
I'll yell out, "You're not the only one watching, everybody!" and just take like 3 pictures of it.
And Tylos has to reach over and reposition your binoculars to the right spot because you're pointed at the wrong spot.
I'm pointing like 180 degrees the wrong way.
But yeah, you do notice that there are additional openings without ramps, both on both sides of the things. It's almost a mirror image of the ramps that you came through.
How high up are they?
The place is about from floor to ceiling is about 10 foot up. So the the ledge of the opening is no, I'd say about let's say from floor to ceiling is about let's call it 10 foot. The opening starts at about 4 foot up. No, that doesn't make sense. So let's say this room that you're in is about 15 foot tall, and the opening starts up halfway, so it's about 7 feet up.
Okay.
I hate feet. Feet make no sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, Tiles is of course going to share regarding the arcane senses. Because that seemed like the smart thing to do, and he's a smart boy.
What are the rest of you doing?
Luna's still playing with her entourage.
And I'm still yelling at the invisible thing that I don't understand, but I'm being told we're being watched, so I'm just yelling at stuff.
I think Hell's going to try and look into the ceiling gap from a distance of about the square where Lip is in.
Okay.
So
From what you can see into the next room, from your angle,
actually, she's got the platform, which is the platform flat with the ground.
the platform is flat to the ground. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, you can see like into a little bit into the next room. It appears that actually you can probably see all the way to somewhat of the corner.
Actually,
The ceiling.
Hold on. Total wall of observation. She claps her hands and smiles.
I'll tell her. Yeah, here you go.
So what do you do?
Totem pole of observation. She's going to jump on his shoulders.
Okay.
So she has an angle.
All right. Roll me an acrobatics check. It's super low DC. Don't worry about it. I don't even think you can fail. Yeah, no, it's fine. So yeah, you climb onto his back and onto his to sit on his shoulder. He walks you up to the opening, and yeah, that puts you like way above 7 feet. So you can see
I'm gonna do a
directly.
cheeky peek up, and then like blush and like look back down.
Wow, what a perv!
I shouldn't have done that.
All right, so you see into the next room. Rather better looking than the room that you passed through. There's no piles of debris and mounds of debris and everything, but otherwise it looks rather identical in nature. However, you do see signs of like a trail of blood, and I'm not talking about fresh blood. I'm talking about like blackened smears that might once have been blood. I can't really get a darker color than this, so.
Is it actual blood or is it oil?
It might be oil, it might be blood. And also how you spy what appears to be some sort of pack, or maybe it's just a pile of trash that's in this corner.
I'm going to race around the front and see if I can maybe lasso that thing there. Because I don't fancy crawling in there yet. Try not to die. And she goes running off around the front.
I always try not to die. I don't understand that.
Okay.
And then I'm more trying to like.
Luna will go over there and
and
her entourage to the pack.
Okay. Now, if I recall correctly, your entourage can only... It's essentially an unseen servant in terms of mechanics-wise. So your entourage can pick up objects, but I think there's a limitation of how...
I want to say 5 to 10 pounds.
If it's mage hand, I thought it was 10.
Oh yeah, it's essentially... Yeah, it's essentially mage hand.
A strength with toe, however much toe is.
So yeah, like the cutest fucking thing you've ever seen. This horde of forest animals, this horde of forest animals like squirrels and raccoons climb up over the walls. They form this weird like animal ladder or animal rope, and they pull each other up. And then they go into the room and they climb underneath this moldering pile of canvas or whatever, and they hold it up above them in like some sort of weird team sport, and they transport it back to where Luna is, and then they somehow weirdly haul this thing up the wall and then plop it down right on top of Luna's head.
I hand it to Hal.
I'm gonna empty the content. Not like dump the contents, but carefully unpack the content so
Okay.
everyone can see them.
So there is inside a pristine looking piece of rope. The rope is about 10 foot long, and it is coiled up in a really it's almost like it's coiled up in a circle that's about the size of that would look like it would wrap around your fist.
Does Tyler still have Detect Magic active?
Yes, he
And if
does.
so, is the rope magic?
It is magical. Transmutation magic, I think.
I think Tyler's is probably going to grab the rope because if Hal's just putting it on the ground, as far as Tyler's is aware, that's free invitation for him to grab the thing and inspect it.
Yeah, so I'll add it to his inventory. Obviously, magical rope is what I'll call it.
I was gonna look up sex. He wanted to wrap his fist in it, but whatever.
Well, since he's not here, the downside of being not here is that if someone wants to grab something that you guys found, whoever is here has precedence. So if you want to grab it,
No, I'll give it to him because I'm just going to end up trying to cut it in half and make him like things that it's probably way better not to cut that in half. So now he can have it.
I mean, Hal's got a random length of chain if you want to wrap something around your fist.
No, because the rope wouldn't hurt as much as chain would.
Okay, and the second object that you find is a strange-looking vial. That is a potion, but the vial has a hole in the center of it. So, how to describe this? How do I describe this?
If it's been there for a long time, it's probably red or whatever color dust.
Okay.
Wait.
Let's do a doodle page.
Is it like a vial, but it's got like a random patch
Doodle.
missing in the middle?
Right, so looking on side view, it has the classic top of a vial, and then it has a circular shape at the bottom. Maybe I'm growing a flask.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then in the center of it, it has a hole. It's about the size of, slightly larger than your thumb.
The donut hole.
Is it a hole in the glass or is it a hole in the potion?
It's a hole in the glass.
It's a donut flask.
Yeah, it's a donut flask. Like the hole isn't a puncture. It's like it has sides to it. So, yeah.
It's like a ton.
And it is filled with to the top with some sort of viscous looking liquid, and the liquid is clear. It has a slight oil sheen to it, as in like when you hold it up to the light, there's a little bit of a rainbow hue to it. But otherwise, the potion is either white or it's clear. Who would like to put that in their inventory?
No, I'm good. I don't want that thing. I'm just gonna break it by accident. Don't worry about me.
Yes. Okay. So Tylos would be able to tell that this potion obviously is magical.
Guys, the potion is magical.
But I'm trying to look up what college the magic is. It is. It is abjuration. And it is powerful.
Can I take a picture of the rope and the potion?
Yes, you can. But it doesn't give you. In fact, there. Yeah, it gives you. It gives you. It says that these are. And you know what? It can't see magic, so it just gives you the standard reading. Glass and.
It was worth a shot to have like a free identify thing for everything. But no, I don't blame you for not. It was just worth a shot.
Yeah, I've made the establishment that it doesn't see magic, so it can analyze what a material is made out of, but it can't tell you if it's magical. That's a wizard's job. It tells you. So Talos would be able to tell you through his detect magic that the potion emits a powerful aura of abjuration.
He says that.
Which he, in your blank looks, he'll tell you that it's some kind of protection potion. I can't quite tell from what.
Be protection. I protect myself and the puppies.
It's a morning after potion.
Oh, then Honu might need that.
But okay, so the last item that you find is a strange-looking tuning fork.
Hal picks up the tuning fork. Hal looks at the wall. Hal looks at the tuning fork.
It has 3 prongs of different lengths.
It's a fork.
One short. No. It's arranged. The prongs are arranged in a triangular pattern. So it could be a fork, but it's a strange fork. Let me doodle page to illustrate.
Time for more Kev's doodles.
All right. So if you're looking from like a kind of like a side-on kind of thing, like a reality view. There's a frame, and there's different lengths of fork, and then these links collapse down to like a handle piece that extends backwards. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
You drew a kite.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I
Okay.
drew a kite.
So triangular hilt and sort of like one prong coming from each corner, different lengths. Yep. Okay. Hal is holding the thingy. She's looking at it, looking at the door, looking at the fork, looking at the door.
And before she says anything, Hanu's will be like, hit the door with it!
She hits the door with it immediately, the longest one, probably.
There is a triple multi-layered chime. The fork itself emits no sound when you strike the door, but the door itself emits a 3-tonal chime that's overlaid with each other, and the chimes alter in pitch as they kind of fade out, and then there is a 4th chime sound that's much more clear in tone, and the door slides. The door slides from the ceiling. The door slides from the ceiling down to the floor to reveal an interior space, which I will reveal momentarily as Luna goes running out of the room.
Yeah, as soon as they start hitting the door, I'm like, nope.
I like to think Hanu is very Drax-like.
That's not what I meant to do.
If I stay very still, you can't see me.
Yeah, that was a great scene. I fucking yeah. I laughed at that scene. Why am I drawing a donut? Lighting. There we go. Okay, so you see from the interior space a 10-foot by 10-foot room, again with the door that you see on the other side. That's still closed. Only the door on your side is open. And within it, there is some sort of a floor, but the floor has a striped, a yellow and black striped border around the very edges of the door, of the floor in the center of the room. There's no contents in this room. It is a blank room.
An elevator, isn't it?
I'll
Yellow,
take a picture
black.
of the room.
You've seen elevators before, yeah, in Nexus. Yeah, it has the feel of an elevator, although you don't see any buttons to operate this elevator.
But like yellow and black stripes around the edges, it seems like a pinching hazard sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's some way to good help.
Yeah, then I'll take a picture of that room and of the tuning fork.
Are you standing there, Hal?
She's she's not inside it, she's just standing outside it.
No, I mean, is that where you're standing?
Oh, no. She's probably here.
Okay, just making sure. Because you remember what happened the last time someone stood on this thing.
I thought about bashing it in, but I decided against it like a half hour ago.
Alright, so does anyone enter the obviously death trap element? Nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, do we want to take a rest first, or?
Why don't we go?
Well, you know what?
Yeah, but your thing would run out, wouldn't it?
Well, I will just cut my still tender male bits from the blowing up the thing and say, "Oh, I guess Puppy wants to go," and then I'll just follow everyone else.
I pull an automaton body to the elevator, or whatever it is.
Oh! Okay. Yeah. So when you do so, you hear a snicking sound.
Wolverine's around here.
No. So you hear a snicking sound, and then when you glance, you see that 3 holes have appeared, like pencil-sized holes have appeared in the center of the platform, in the lift room, as you drag an automaton into it. I assume that's what you're doing, right? You weren't dragging it to...
Putting it in there, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you drag one in there, and you hear the snick sound, and you see 3 holes have appeared in the floor of this platform. They're pencil-sized, and they're arranged in a triangular pattern.
So what everybody else sees is a snick, and then you see Luna, all four of her corners of the room, and her head underneath her body, looking at the holes.
What do you say? Now, like, lies down outside the room to look at the thingies.
She puts her nose right below on the south side of the hole, so Hal can have an idea of where it's at.
Okay. So you can obviously see that she's looking at these 3 pencil-sized pencil-sized holes arranged in a triangular pattern in the center of the floor of the lift.
Is the tuning fork made of metal?
Yes, it is.
Should I question that too hard, or... Like, that does seem like an interesting note, but it seems like the kind of thing that could be an oversight too.
Did the dealy dude tell us anything about it? Did it just say what it was made of?
Carlos's detect magic. It is not magical.
No, not that. The Scouter thing, Motor 9000 thing.
it tells you that it is made out of mithril. It tells you that it's made out of high-grade mithril, and it gives you an estimation that the material components of this object that you're holding is worth about 50 gold.
And I would tell everyone that.
For comparison, what is if it were made of steel, for instance? What would the material component be? Like for a comparison point.
5 silver, maybe 4.
Right.
There's always a lot of glimmers there, Sid.
Sorry. So yeah, shards and glimmers. Yes, that's right. I should use my own terminology.
So if a raw material is worth 50 gold, given the shape and construction as well, it's probably worth a small fortune.
And given the fact that it's likely to be not an artifact as in a magical artifact, but like an archaeological artifact, it's probably worth a lot more than that.
Oh boy.
I think the tea's ready, or the water's ready.
Alright, so does anyone else enter the lift except for Luna?
Oh, I absolutely follow Luna. I go right in.
People are coming in. I go to my small size. I go back to my halfling size.
Okay.
Do we want to take a rest before we go anywhere though, or?
I mean, I wouldn't mind. That thing blew up. It hurt a bit. I wouldn't mind taking a break.
Because if you're planning on changing back into small form anyway, Luna, might as well take a break.
Pylos will speak up and say, it will give me an opportunity to look up my books a little bit and recover some of my arcane energies.
Also, I want to fit my new shoes.
Those are some fancy shoes. And I look kind of jealous as I look down at my little rope, like flip-flops.
I'll tell you what, Honu, when we get back to Nexus next, we can get you some nice shoes.
You know what? I'm a little scared. I never wore them before. We just get. I'm fine.
No, it'll be fun. We can go shopping with them together. It'll be a good time.
Well, it would be rude to say no, so I will go with you.
Okay, yeah, so we take a rest and shit.
I'm gonna roll some hit die.
Ah, Tylos actually took damage. That's alright.
Yeah, he did.
I gave him shit about it.
So are we resting?
I love
In the teleport, or are we resting in the lake?
motherfucker. Back to where I was before the thing blew up on me. Well, almost. And then we'll roll my last hit die. Roll way better than that, please. Still pretty shit.
Alright, actually, I would like for... Actually, you know what? You guys are... Everyone roll a perception check for me while you guys... And in which room are you resting?
I believe the room we were in, not the elevator.
I'm right where I'm at.
Okay. So at some point, so Esmeralda has been basically posted up by the opening. She comes scampering back in and she sees you, Luna. And she has like a concerned expression on her face. And she says, Luna, there are people outside. And then if you were to make your way over to the gate, the opening, and peek outside to where she's pointing, you can see at the very, very, very far end of the bridge, there, and it's kind of like not at the head of the bridge, but like further beyond that, like kind of up on a little bank that kind of overlooks the bridge. You can see the telltale silhouettes of 3 or 4 figures, kind of at the tip of this bank, silhouetted against like the tree line in the sky behind them, looking at, well, you would guess you guys. They're kind of hard to make out because, like I said, this bridge is like 500 feet long.
Where was the?
So you can see them.
Where was the golden plank at?
It was about 100 feet from this opening.
And my name is carved on it.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and rush that golden plank and go a couple planks ahead of it and start removing the wooden planks from it.
They're all metal planks. The entire jetty is built out of seemingly scrap metal. So is your plan still to rush out and attempt to pry up some metal planks?
I'm gonna yell for Honu to help.
I will go help. They ain't getting my gold plank no way, no how. I'll just become BA Baracus.
Okay, so Honu goes running out of the room to Luna's, and you guys charge out onto the bridge.
Case.
The figures don't visibly react to your shenanigans. And
If they're people or robots.
Roll me a perception check, and the DC will be quite high. You can tell that they are obviously not plants; they're not trees.
Can we still sort of walk around without breaking the rest? Like,
Yes, you can.
yeah.
I would warn you that extraneous activities such as trying to pry up planks riveted to their support stays would be counted as strenuous activity.
That's okay.
Well, then I will not do that because I need this rest for my whopping 9 hit points. Can I tell with a 21 if they are what they are?
They appear to be small-sized humanoids.
Can I make one following them out?
Sure.
What humanoids? Oh, you mean Luna? Yeah.
They're kind of small. They're kind of hard to see.
You mean Luna?
No, she's right here, but it's I'll point off in the direction. They're over there. They small.
Yeah, so you can't see them, Hal, despite all the others pointing and kind of like, oh no, you see that tree of the forked branch over there? Like it's like a finger beneath that, but no, you have no.
Wait, like the Y fork or the L fork?
No, despite all
There's only
your,
one fork.
but yeah, you turned out you were looking at something completely like it's like one of those things where like you think that you don't see it initially, so you keep looking further and further and further back, and it's like way closer than you expected it to be. So you never see it. You're like looking up onto the horizon, like high up into the mountains. But yeah, no, there are 4 small-sized humanoid creatures up on a bank at the very tip of the jetty, currently looking in your general direction. They don't seem to be moving, or they just seem to be watching.
Well, do we take the rest of our rest out here, just staring back at them?
You can. I mean, you don't have to remain in the opening. Like you can just duck out of the way and keep an eye in the general direction. I would like for whoever who thinks they have great luck to roll me a 1d100.
Not it.
Should that be me then? Because I've been pretty good over the hundreds.
You know what? We haven't often had Luna roll. So Luna, why don't you roll a 1d100 to see if the party gets murdered?
And don't kill us. Please.
Okay. Maybe you consult a chart.
I will control
I will let you know that I'm not like other DMs that like you can always tell that higher is better, lower is worse. So let me consult. I mean, on the plus side, you got the meaning of life, but at the downside, the meaning of life is apparently below average. So, at the tail end of your short rest,
Those motherfuckers.
no, you complete your short rest, but I'm saying like as you're kind of like collectively deciding, yeah, maybe it's time to get going. Like I've caught my breath and sorted my stuff out. You start detecting a familiar low vibration coming through the deck plates beneath your feet. The last time you felt this vibration, you were assaulted by four automatons that climbed out over the rubble pile.
They were assaulted.
Oh, yeah, okay. They were assaulted. Fine, fair enough. That's correct terminology. How do you respond to this? Like the vibration has started, but they are not like they haven't reached their apex yet. That happened shortly before you guys were attacked.
I'm gonna get excited to go back to where they were last time and just get ready to start swinging on them again.
Okay. You go back and you've discovered that the door to the elevator has closed.
Yeah, can I tell if the rumbling's coming from the elevator or from this thing?
It's hard to... You know what? Roll me a perception check to see.
Damn, rolling perception today, baby.
You can tell that there's a different note to the rumbling before. Before it sounded like almost like minecart tracks, like that kind of rattling sound. Now there sounds like there's something heavy rolling, some sort of like boulder or something rolling across the middle plate.
I'm assuming it's elevator though.
Let me do something. Stand by. Stand by for fun.
Oh dear.
Okay. And then what do you guys do? How do you guys respond to this?
I'm getting ready to charge the elevator.
Okay, you're getting ready to charge the elevator. Okay. So I will let you guys decide where you want to be placed, but it's obvious that it's obvious to you through your deduction and through your experiences that the platform pillars are about to spit out another 4 automatons. Like this was what happened last time before it happened.
Okay, well then I will prepare for the platform pillars and expect it to be something.
At this time, Honu can tell you that your intuition tells you, your senses and your intuition tells you that there sounds like the elevator is in use as well. Like the elevator is moving. Something behind that door is shifting up and down. And it would logically tell you that something is coming up the elevator as well.
Oh, it's going to be a big fight there, guys. This is going to be great.
Do we want to be back up the front?
Why we won't be up the front? The fight's going to be in here.
Exactly, they come to us and we haven't got a choke point. I'm like doing meta tactics, not, yeah, let's kill them. Logic.
Luna goes up for isn't this a choke point?
I got a choke point right here, and I'm going to like make a muscle.
But the bridge is also a choke point. Go one or two across.
Make sure your HPs are correct, by the way, Luna.
They are.
Listen here. You can't choke these robots. They don't breathe. I don't know why we keep saying choke.
You don't have any more hit die roll?
I was trying to read the the planks up, so no. I didn't use a hit die.
So you actually went out to... I thought you guys abandoned the idea.
I just watched her because I wanted to roll my dice. Kind of a dick move, but I need the health.
Do you have any tools, Luna? Like a crowbar or hammer and chisel or... You know what? Roll me an athletics check. Or a strength check.
Hell has I think, what is it, a pickaxe and a sledgehammer and stuff she can borrow.
Yeah, you quickly find without tools. I'm not going to penalize you for the short rest. Because you quickly find that without tools, it's proven impossible to actually pry up any of these planks. They appear to be riveted to some sort of support structure. And when I say planks, I do mean like metal planks, not like wooden planks. I guess I should use the word panels instead of planks. I think that'd be more clear. All right, so Honu, is that where you are standing when shit kicks off?
Hell to be up here. Tylos will probably be up here.
All right. I would like for everyone to roll initiative. As again, the platforms shoot up from floor to ceiling, and 4 automatons come up from below. Actually, Honu, you are standing in such a location that you might be able to see what's beyond it in the room underneath. So I would like for you to roll me a perception check.
Man, the last one was a nat 20, so this will be like a 4. Oh, hey.
Okay, Honu, I am going to give you... The rest of you should ignore this line of sight, this dynamic lighting thing, because you don't see any of this. But Honu, you see as the platforms go up from the floor to the ceiling, and these 4 automatons shoot up through the floor, standing on platforms to take their place. You see in the room underneath. Let me just draw it out.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them, so we can do this all day. This is like the greatest day ever, guys.
Your wish is fulfilled. You see in the room beneath you.
I can barely see anything.
So if you look to the right.
Yeah, I can see like this and that.
So what you see is that you don't see what they're hanging from, but there's just a row of these automatons hanging by hooks attached to their shoulders that's attached to something on the ceiling. And as you watch, almost as if like, just imagine like a meat processing factory where you've got pigs, like meat hung by hooks along like rails along the ceiling. It's like this, but they're automatons hung by the shoulder. And there's just a row of them that's coming into the room through a similar opening to the ones that you guys have climbed through.
Oh man, guys, new plan. We just keep smashing them. How much do you think these are worth when they get smashed?
You try to keep the power core thingies, they might be worth something.
We could do this. We could do this for the next week. I bet there's a whole bunch of them. We get real good at smashing them. We could be the. Do we know? Have we been calling them automatons?
Clockwork men, middlemen, yeah, whatever you want to call them.
We could be called the automatons and make tons of glimmers because we keep smashing these things.
All right, but this time you guys are ready. I'm going to give you guys a surprise round because this time you're waiting for them to come up, and they appear to be still winding up as they come up off this pillar. So I'll give you a surprise round. So Tylos is up first.
Okay, Tylos shall move up to here-ish and, survey the area, and he's going to cast the thing being Firebolt? Firebolt. Yeah, Firebolt.
Firebolt.
Additionally, he could use Scorching Ray.
I think I want to use that for... Wait, keep that for a time when it's actually
Okay, so
necessary.
which one are you targeting with the firebolt? The only one that you would have cover from you is probably this one.
Yeah, the one
In fact,
on
I
the
think that
top
has
right.
total cover. So, okay, so yeah, you before it even comes off the winding mechanism that's protruding from the pillar, you slag it across like I guess like one hip or one shoulder, and you fuse some of the metal plating together. It looks damaged, but it doesn't look badly damaged. Does Talos wish to move?
He has moved. He moved up to that point.
Honu.
Question: what are the odds of me I know where the things are located now. Could I target one of these where when I hit it, I would break the dodecahedron inside of it?
Like a cold shot?
You know what? That's too smart for Hanu. Never mind that. I'm just gonna rage and start smashing.
No. I will allow a cold shot. I will say that a cold shot is. First, roll me an intelligence check just to see if you can work out where this thing was in relation to.
That's actually not bad for me.
Okay. Now roll me a melee attack, assuming you're taking a swing for it. And I
won't be raging for this.
I will give you disadvantage because you failed your intelligence check. So yeah, you swing into this thing, aiming for its dodecahedron, but evidently that's the most well-protected mechanism in this construct, and you just strike whatever protective plating is over its chest.
It was worth a shot. Okay, now we're just gonna go back to what works. It's my turn.
Luna, it is now your turn.
So do I see anybody coming from the bridge?
No, you do not. The four figures are still watching, but they don't appear to have moved.
So I'll have Esmeralda watch them. Do I hear anything from the other room?
Yeah, you hear the sounds of Honu taking a swing at someone, and the telltale sounds of Talos shouting his arcane words in a blast of heat and fire.
That was a move action. Let's actually get on my page. We'll throw a produce flame at them.
Nice. At the same one?
Yeah.
Okay. So your produced flame roars up this thing, and it appears to have some sort of unprotected leakage or something of some sort of flammable fluid, because the entire thing just lights up, and then there's now a burning skeleton man. It's still seemingly operational, though, or maybe it's just being held up by the little winding mechanism that's whirring in its back. It hasn't fallen over. Hal?
Which is the one that got produced flamed?
This upper right one in the corner.
Okay, Hal is going to throw one of her laser chakrams at the one in the top right.
You just have to hit.
Rip.
Nope.
I'll use my bonus action to throw another one.
Doesn't matter what damage you do, you just have to hit to kill it. Yeah, so your second one, your first one, maybe it's like heat shimmer.
She tries to aim. She tries to aim it around Honu, but it sort of hits the pillar instead. And well, so much for that.
Your second one hits it, and it just scatters in a cloud of burnt embers and red hot pieces of metal, plasters all over the wall, and
Hel's going to use a move. I think she's going to run off the edge, leap over here, and sort of land in the corner.
Okay. Fantastical. All right. Now it is the top of a new turn order. You hear the sounds of something of the lift room under operation, Honu. You hear the platform lowering as it drops away. The automatons come off their mounts and the mechanisms start withdrawing back into the pillar. I will say by the end of this turn, the mechanisms will have fully withdrawn back into the pillar. By the end of this round, the mechanisms. But for now, they're still extended. These things, however, come off the winder mechanisms, and they swarm Honu. Actually, one of them is going to go for you, Hal. The other two go for Honu. The first two are at Honu, so first two swings are at Honu.
Oh, yeah, 14. Not raging. Because I was trying to think. Oh, man, 6 and a 13.
Yeah. So the first one catches you with a jab. It hits you on the knee and then slides up your thigh and narrowly misses your crotch. But it
I need that for lady pleasing.
Leaves you a nasty, nasty cut that you feared was about to hit home. Actually, this one's not going to get that far. This one's going to go here. The second one misses you completely. Your AC was 14?
Yeah, so yeah, I just saw the number, so I only took 6. Fantastic.
Yeah, you took 6. And then the second one, the one that's going after Hal, steps off to the side a little bit. It puts its left hand forwards, and there's a sharp, clang sound as a hexagon rod is thrown at you. It ricochets off the wall and smashes into the rubble pile leading beside Honu and disappears into the mound, missing you completely. Tylos.
Okay, Tylos is going to be boring, I think, and he's just gonna. Does he have an angle on the one at the one there next to Honu?
You do, yes.
I mean, tried and true. He's going to throw another firebolt. Has the
12,
firebolt failed?
Yeah, 12 is a miss. So it's like a bad angle basically, because you're essentially standing on your foot. Tylos's foot slips slightly as he goes to position, and the firebolt twists off to the side and just lances across the pillar. The pillar doesn't seem to suffer much damage from it. It does leave a scorch mark on it though. Honu, it is now your turn. Does Tylos wish to move?
He's happy with his position there.
Okay.
Which one of these guys almost got to the lady pleaser?
It is the one that's still on the platform.
Oh, okay, well, bonus action rage.
Do you get your rage back on a short rest?
No, I had 2 first time. I had 2 when we started the very first fight. I used it then, so I have this my last rage.
Okay.
But then I'm gonna yell out, "No touching! I didn't say you could touch me!" And I'm gonna recklessly try to bash his face off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wait. Play another D12 as well.
What's the other D12 from?
Savage attack, baby. I'm half
yeah, that's right. That's crazy. So describe how you utterly annihilate this thing from full HP.
I like to think he pissed me off so bad. I went through his top of his head like I did the last one, but I hit it so hard it followed through to the chest and it broke the dodecahedron.
Oh. Yeah. So you smashed this thing in the chest so hard that it cracked the dodecahedron, it flattened it like a pancake, and you smash this construct directly back onto the pillar, and you hear this horrific crunching, grinding sound as this construct gets impaled on the mechanism of which that gave it life, and the mechanism gets twisted and warped, and there's a sickening, like any mechanical, like any car aficionado would cringe at the sound of some sort of motor or some camshaft just utterly tearing itself apart.
I'm gonna kind of shift my body over, looking directly at the one in front of me, and smile and say, "You're next, brother." And that's my turn.
Don't understand you. Luna.
Luna can see that one. She will throw another produce flame at it. hit.
Okay, I think it's because this time both Honu and the pillar kind of giving a half cover. Plus, you're like short. There's you pretty much have to climb to the top of this rubble pile to peek through the opening. So your produced flame just showers upon the wall behind it, setting the slag automaton that's plastered all over the wall on further fire. But doesn't manage to get the bolt thrower one. Hal, it is your turn. This bolt thrower person just tried to brain you.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. I was going to rush him. She's going to grab a quarterstaff. She's going to grab it in both hands, and she's going to jab it toward him as it telescopes outward. Shit.
It has like various. It's like made out of metal, but in some ways it resembles. In fact, it actually uses the exact same stats as a skeleton. So. So it doesn't have the bludgeoning vulnerability. But anyway, it has something else vulnerability, which you guys haven't used yet, but never mind. So you stab it through, and there's just some sort of gap or opening that your telescoping quarterstaff punches straight through it and comes out its back. But it doesn't seem to have hit anything vital at all.
She's going to follow through with this, charge straight toward it, and sort of like trying to use the quarterstaff to hold it in place. She's going to drive her knee into its 21 for age.
There we go. Yeah.
Can't escape that knee.
You with it pinned in place by the staff, you drive your knee up into whatever pelvis region, and you buckle one of its hips in a powerful smash. Apparently, rusted metal doesn't do good against monk knees. It looks severely damaged.
Honu was paying attention. He's super impressed.
It is now their turn, but at the top of your order, you guys, Honu, you hear the lift in operation, and it sounds like it is growing louder. It is coming back up. Yeah, first one, it will be a Hal. This thing stuck on your quarterstaff attempts to try and run its blade through your throat as it flails. It grazes the side of your shoulder and catches you just behind the ear, leaving a nasty gash. Are you still up? Yeah, I don't think you were that injured. So.
What, me?
Yeah.
That was the first time I've taken damage.
Yeah. The one to the south of Honu is going to attempt to run you through. Like it just throws itself bodily at you. Scrap metal on first.
Hey, bro.
It's like one of those things where like you put out your hand to the younger brother and you put your hand on its forehead and it just slams to a stop against your forehead.
I like it.
Tylos.
Silos is going to firebolt again, I suppose. Who looks more damaged out of the one Hal is facing and the one Honu's facing?
The one Hal is facing is wrecked.
Yeah, he's going to try and steal that kill. He's going to move to the corner, peek around, has a little sort of shit-eating grin, and he's going to chuck a firebolt at
Again, there's too much close quarters. I guess Talos. I mean, he's a snooty mage, but at the same time, like hitting your own allies would be super embarrassing. So, in a sense of caution, he fires his firebolt with perhaps too much caution, and narrowly misses the automaton to slag some pipe fixtures behind it. But he doesn't deal it any damage. Honu.
What I want to do while I still have my hand over his head, I'm just kind of going to like laugh, like a sadistic laugh, take the hand back to grab both hands on my club, and just try to literally remove his head from his body.
Okay. Is this a side swipe or is this an uppercut?
It would have been like a golf swing, but I don't think his head comes off with that.
No, his head doesn't come off that. His head gets slammed. And now the head is like 90 degrees sideways, but it's still mounted on its shoulders. And its like head is just like stuck in that position.
Does he have disadvantage? Because I knocked off his targeting systems.
You know what? I will roll a Constitution saving throw. No, it's fine.
It was worth a shot. That's me.
All right, Luna.
Luna's gonna try the fire spell again. Yay! Yay!
Oh, which one are you targeting?
The one next to Hal.
Okay, yeah.
I can't see the one next to Honu.
Whether I guess Hal, you're not really paying attention to what's happening behind you, but seemingly to you, Hal, some of the flickering fire on the wall beside you with the various like glowing bits of other automaton that's plastered against it. Maybe one of the pieces like fell somewhere critical, but the automaton in front of you suddenly like catches a fire and then quickly bursts into flame, and there's just massive jets of like red hot flames pouring out of its various openings and gaps in its armor plating, and it almost just seems to crumple in amongst itself as it gets reduced to a pile of like glowing metal on the ground. And you quickly pull your quarterstaff back in order for it not to get damaged. In fact, you might hit the collapse button to
When in doubt, collapse.
Yeah. Does Luna decide to move?
Yes.
You're going to hear intense barking from Lith. And then Esmeralda shouts out, hey, the people up on the hill have gone.
I go over to them.
And then she points and just says, they dropped back over the hill. I think they're leaving. Lith, however, when you come over, is facing the elevator, and she's got her tail between her legs, and she's letting out an almost howling growl. Like it's a growl, but it's like loud enough to be howling.
I'll be watching with then.
Okay. Hal, it is your turn.
Okay, remind me again, 5e, can you move, attack, move?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to move onto here, 5, 10 on here. She's going to sort of jump onto the wall, like the pillar, just briefly, so she can jump off and get a good angle on the automaton. Jump out at him as she extends the baton, trying to stab him in the head.
Roll me an acrobatics check, and if it's a really high check, I'll give you advantage on this attack.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
So roll with advantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So describe how you 360 no-scope this.
She runs along, the column briefly. She's got a new springy boot, so she's got the great springy jump going on. So she uses them to spring off the pillar at like triple distance or whatever, draws the quarterstaff back, and then stabs it forward, while telescoping it outward again. So it's got the combined telescoping, the stabbing motion, and the jumping, all hitting it. And just kind of hits the automaton's head. Its head hits the wall between the quarterstaff, and it just kind of shatters against it.
Nice.
Between the two. Whatever.
Yeah.
And following this, she's going to use a quarterstaff. She wants to try and, pole vault up here. How much is that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 down to here as she keeps running.
Okay. At the top of your turn, at the top of the next round, rather, the doors to both sides of the lift, both in your section, Luna, and in your section, Honu, the doors slide from ceiling to floor. And revealed in the center of this lift area is a large metal sphere made out of polished brass. Unlike the automatons that you've been fighting, this thing shows no signs of wear and tear. The ball itself measures about 5 foot across. No, maybe not that big. Maybe like 3 or 4 foot across. Perfectly spherical, and it seems to be covered in intricate, not carvings like grooves and runnels and stuff like that. And I'll just draw the ball. Why not? There. Ball. It is Honu. It is your turn. What do you wish to do?
I'm raging. I want to do what a raging barbarian does when something comes out of the ground. I'm going to run over and hit it with my club. But I'm not going to do it reckless. Oh man, not that it matter.
Yeah, you swing down and you smash your club against the ball. The ball clangs, and your club doesn't leave any visible indentations or marks on it, and the ball doesn't even move. Like you would expect you clubbing this ball for it to start rolling, but it remains rock solid, almost as if it's glued to the platform. Do you do anything else?
I'm going to let out a raging roar of frustration and get ready to hit it again.
Luna, it is now your turn. You can also see the ball in the elevator.
You know what? When in doubt, put it in fire.
Right, so you set this ball on fire, and flames crackle all around it from underneath and over top of it, and it's ablaze. It doesn't seem to have any visible effect on its armored carapace and its armored sphere. Like the flames don't seem to be doing the surface, the spherical surface, any damage beyond maybe marking with soot and such. Do you move anywhere else?
Nope, I stay there.
Okay. Esmeralda is going. Lith takes off running out the door, and Esmeralda yells, "Doggy, come back!" And because she doesn't know Lith's name, and she runs after Lith. And then the ball unfolds, and it unfolds shockingly, like in an explosive act. Various panels flick out, and arms and legs seem to shoot in all directions. Some of them towards you, Honu, as if in attack, and it unfolds itself into a massive, large-sized, metallic, monstrous spider.
Fantastic.
Made of shining brass, and several of its legs spear out towards you.
They do not have advantage because I did not.
Yes, which is probably a good thing in hindsight. Now that I think about it,
That's exactly why I didn't do it reckless.
it's not slashing damage; it's piercing damage. Here you go.
That'll hit. So that'll hit.
But you are raging, yes?
Yep. So
So
it's like
4 and 3, so total of 7.
clear.
And then it is going to no, it can only do this once per day. So that's it for its. Actually, no. One of its legs swings around. One of its hind legs swings around and points something at you, Luna. This is made at disadvantage because it's making a ranged attack while it's engaged.
It's a 13 to hit.
Are you? No, you're not. This is radiant damage.
She's not evil. At least I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, she might be. Some people are resistant against radiant damage. So yeah, this bolt of light lances out from the tip of this some sort of crystal on its leg, and it just passes straight over your shoulder. Maybe it's like it was targeting a taller creature, it was expecting to target a taller creature, and your halfling size and luck managed to save you as this beam passes straight over your head and punches a hole straight through the side of the structure, leaving a shaft of light, almost like a light goes out and then a light comes back in. Super poetic. Hal, it is your turn.
Hal's got to run down here. She's going to leap off here.
And where the beam passed through the air, there is now a solid rod of like sparkling yellow light in the air that's slowly dissipating. Descriptive element. Hal, your turn.
She sees a spider. Her first reaction is to kill it immediately. She throws the laser chakrams at it. And I'm going to use a key point to make my 3 attacks here.
Okay.
13, 16, 16.
They all miss.
What?
That's not terrifying.
So, your chakrams, your laser things lash into this thing, and they careen off its polished brass edge, and it almost seems like the polishing has some sort of reflective or warping element to it, because as your energy weapons pass through it, the metal glows momentarily, but then it dissipates with no visible damage.
Is there any reason to suspect that this might be a radiant particular thing?
No, it just seems like its armor is very substantial and specifically designed to ward off energy attacks as well as like physical attacks. Like this thing is evidently built to combat both traditional combatants and magic users. I will let you have an intelligence deduction check. Call it investigation, or maybe insight if you're wisdom this high. Okay. So your intuition immediately tells you that the automatons that you've been fighting, now that you've seen this thing, the automatons that you've been fighting are clearly workers, and this is the soldier.
Shit.
Tylos' turn. Wizard saves the day.
This is probably one of those times where Scorching Ray is a good idea. Tylos is going to move up here, and he's gonna Scorching Ray this motherfucker.
Okay.
Do I need to roll 3 times?
I think you rolled twice. No, 3 times. Yeah, you're right. Roll 3 times. Wow! Holy shit! Jesus Christ!
13 fire, 13 fire, 18 fire.
I'll let you know that
26
all
plus 18. 44 fire.
Wow! Yeah, so like some sort of academy trained evocation wizard badass, Tylos lets off these 3 massive blasts of fire, narrowly missing Honu as this thing lances into the thing's side, and you can tell that it's penetrated the armor. There are explosions as bits of brass and metalwork goes showering all about the room, raining about the interior of this elevator space. And this thing kind of gets knocked off its feet. It rolls backwards and it momentarily collapses back into its ball shape, but the ball is slightly warped into an oval shape before it flicks out back into its spider form. Evidently damaged as one of its legs is formed in a crooked angle. It's still alive, however.
I came to the conclusion that we're getting serious now.
If I wasn't raging, I would say something, but he's kind of friggin' not railroaded, but he's kind of tunnel vision right now.
Yeah. Honu, it is now your turn.
So where he hit though, is there like a big gaping hole in the side of this thing?
Apparently it's reforming back into a ball. Kind of shifted some of its armor plating around. You see no signs of visible damage to the exterior plating.
Fuck it. In for a penny, in for a pound. You want to reckless attack the leg that's kind of fucked up?
Okay. Wow, yeah.
Wait.
Holy shit. What are you guys doing to my boss monster?
I believe we're effing it in the A.
So yeah, you cleave one of its legs clean off, and you like smash open its side armor plating as you rip like a carapace plating. You glance momentarily inside its opening to see the guts of your enemy, and your mind kind of goes, "What?
Thingy?
No, you do not. What you see inside makes no fucking sense to you. It's not clockwork. It's almost like a soup of geometric shapes and metals."
That's fine. This doesn't make sense to me. Apparently, we're getting serious now, so yeah. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Luna, it is now your turn.
Luna.
God, I just said 84 damage.
God damn.
So yeah, you try and set it on fire again, but there's just way too much activity going on, and the fires quickly get snuffed out by all the thrashing about and explosions and bits and pieces flying everywhere. Your produced flame doesn't manage to damage this thing overly much.
I'll be back in a minute. Hold on.
Okay. It is now this thing's turn. First off, what it's going to do is its mouth openings snap open wide, and it spits something at you, Honu, or at least in your general direction. I need you to make a dex saving throw.
Alright, I'm going to use... Is it obvious? Do I get my danger sense?
It's not a trap. And it's not technically a spell, but I will give you danger sense, yeah. But no, that's not high enough to succeed, unfortunately.
That's fine.
So you get plastered with some sort of viscous, almost silk-like substance, but it doesn't hinder your movement in any way. Like it's like silly tape or silly, that shit. Yeah, silly string. But the silly string glows with some sort of arcane incandescent energy, and you find yourselves, and it seems to bind to your already existing wounds. And this thing targets those wounds with a circular saw that pops out on one of its arms, like a giant fucking saw blade, and attempts to cut you from shoulder to hip.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. He does have advantage.
Yeah, he has advantage anyway because you're under effect of Fear of Fire. That's the second roll. Because these sheets apparently don't roll. 14 to hit?
14 hits.
Okay, you need to... so you take 6 slashing damage, so it's not piercing damage. Slashing damage as this thing cuts you across where one of its taped arms are hitting. In addition, the wound starts fountaining blood as you start bleeding excessively from the wound. It seems to have struck some sort of artery. Yes, you do. Just put a marker on yourself because the bleeding is not stopping, by the way, it's continuing. And then some sort of magical pulse goes off it, it's visible. Some sort of magical pulse erupts from it, and its movements suddenly surge in an extra fast, its movements suddenly increase to threefold or fourfold, and it lashes out at you 3 times with 3 arm pincers.
Ow.
Almost like it used an action surge.
Well, I'm probably done though, because there's all at advantage, but whatever.
I need to roll
That hits. So
well,
that's 2.
let's see if it rolls a natural 20. So 5 piercing damage. I mean, actually, I'm just going to throw advantage. So they all hit. So first one deals 2 piercing damage, and the second 2 deal a total of 6 piercing damage.
Okay, so I take 6 altogether?
No, you take, from the arm pincers, you take 8 overall.
Okay.
Okay, that is its turn. It is now Hal's turn.
Yeah, my war cry is kind of like slowed down since I'm so fucked up.
Okay.
My war song.
So regarding the thing you said earlier, because I think part of it went past me, would I be better not using elemental damage? Or is it more or less the same against physical
No,
damage?
it just seems to have really high AC, that's all.
Okay.
And actually, by the way, at the end of its turn, it turns back into a ball. An oval-shaped ball.
Yeah, Hal's gonna try the same shit, I think. Gonna use the key point, 3 attack. Come on, Aaron Jesus.
The 24 hits, yes.
Fuck yeah, 5 damage.
In its extra ball shape, it seems to be extra resilient against damage, but you somehow manage to sneak that radiant that third one straight through one of the crumpled sides where Honu and Tylos's efforts have previously damaged it. And something happens inside that you're not precisely sure. Sorry, I'm having hiccups. Do you wish to move?
No, I think she's happy there, actually.
Tylos.
Okay, so I want to ask if you'll let me do something retroactively, because I only learned it was on this sheet recently. Will you let me have used Arcane Recovery in that last rest?
Yes, obviously, yeah.
Okay, I want to prepare a Scorching Ray for when it unfolds again.
Yes, you can do that, yep.
Because Tylos is a clever motherfucker.
Yep. Honu, this thing just fucked you up.
Yeah, it did. You know what I want to do?
You're still bleeding excessively, by the way. If you don't take your action to stop the bleeding during this round, you will need to roll a Constitution save at the end of your round or take additional bleeding damage.
Oh, man, that makes me very sad because if I heal myself, I'm no longer raging. You know what? I'm gonna roll an intelligence check because I am raging at disadvantage and see if I remember I have a healing potion. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna. Fuck. Fuck if I'm due, fuck if I don't. You know what? I have 2 hit points. Fuck it. Reckless.
16 misses.
And
So, yeah.
I'll roll my con save.
Massive clang. Oh yeah, no, you make it. So yeah, you manage to staunch the bleeding from your wounds as your head swims from the blood loss and you feel super woozy.
It's going to down me its next attack anyway, so fuck it.
Luna, your turn. Luna?
Luna, it's still a ball, right?
Yes, currently.
Why not? Luna will run this way.
You're running past it?
Yeah. It's still a ball.
Okay. You know what? That's actually funny because it doesn't have attack of opportunity while it's a ball, so you deduce correctly.
And actually, she'll get right behind Honu. And touch him.
That's not going to be the place to be here in a little bit, sister.
No, not that one. I wanted
She's destroying what's left of my blood.
Oh wow, bad luck.
I know. I don't want to use it.
Yeah, something wrong with the rolls today. At least for me.
That's fine. Let's thank you very much.
Alright, Talos takes his 3 shots because this thing pops back out into a spider.
Let's fucking do it.
Second one hits, and the third one hits for a
15.
massive amount of damage. This thing looks extraordinarily. It's on fire. It's smoldering. It's smoking. There are blast marks and rip chunks everywhere. It only has it's missing like 3 of its 8 legs. And one side of it's torn open completely, and it's leaking some sort of weird, like mercury-like substance that's fallen to the ground. It is, however, going to seek its revenge on this big chunk of meat in front of it. It tries to stab you with it can make one of those attacks.
To be fair, I didn't hit it last turn. I tried to though.
Yeah, but you're of the most immediate danger to it.
Oh no, I'm just my job. It's fine. I ain't mad at you.
It can use one of these attacks and one of these attacks, or it can use 3 of these attacks. Which one does it want to do? You know what? It's semi-intelligent. It's pretty intelligent, actually.
Probably smarter than me.
It is smart.
In real life, not even in the game.
Oh, this would be really fucking nasty. Do I want to be that much of a dick? No, you guys are going to run into more of these things. So this is a taste of what's to come. So for now, it's just going to stab you with its little sharp arm pincer things. It's going to try and pin you to the floor. First one income. Oh, sorry. Yeah, these are still advantage because you're fairy fire.
That hits.
For 4 piercing damage. Second one comes in.
I'm down now.
4 piercing damage. It puts you down.
I'm down.
And then it is going to use its bonus action to turn back into from ball to spider. It is going to try and nail Tylos with an arm caster. So ignore the poison damage.
Oh wait, I lied. Hold on. Going to use my
That's right.
orky thing where I come back at 1 hit point.
Okay, so the last one, ignore the last roll.
I'm not done killing you yet, Verto.
It's going to use another arm pincer. So now you're down.
I am done killing him yet.
Alright. Hal, it's your turn.
So is Honu down, or what's the story there?
Honu got stabbed twice. He buckled to his knee, and then he surged with like a furious orc roar. He surged back to his feet, and he yelled out, "I'm not done yet!" And then he got stabbed the 3rd time. So okay, now I'm done. Falls over.
Yeah, now I'm done.
Okay, is it in ball form at the moment?
No, it is in spider form.
And
It can only turn once per turn from ball to spider as a bonus action.
It looks wicked fucked up right now.
It looks like it's it's not on its last legs because it still has 6 more legs. No, it's 5 more legs.
Does the tuning fork look like it would be usable as a weapon?
It does
How to
not.
toss this up?
It does not look like a weapon, and in fact, it doesn't even look like an eating utensil.
Yeah, let's not fucking Okay, Hal's gonna jump in behind it. She's gonna use the quarterstaff and try and, I don't know, smash it over the back of it, maybe break one of its legs. Shit.
The quarterstaff smashes against its leg, and the quarterstaff vibrates in your hand, but it doesn't seem to have damaged the leg any.
She tried really hard, for the record, and then she tries to kick it.
Your kick actually does more. So maybe you kick like some sort of joint, and the metallic leg buckles backwards. Obviously, in a way, it wasn't designed to do so. And this thing momentarily lands on its ass as one of its rear legs buckles underneath it. It is still operational, apparently.
And I think that's her turn.
Okay. Hylos, bring it home.
Do I go for the Scorching Ray or the Magic Missile?
I think he's used through Scorching Rays, right?
No,
Does he have
sorry,
three?
not Scorching Ray. I mean Firebolt.
Well, just remember that Magic Missile always hits.
Yeah, and it's like, how damaged is it compared to should I use Magic Missile now?
It is extremely heavily damaged. I would.
And your meat shield is down.
Fuck it, let's Magic Missile this motherfucker. Can I just do 3d4 plus 3 simplicity?
Yes, you can. I will, however, make a roll. No, it's not supposed to be advantage. Because it is heavily damaged. Okay, so never mind. So you deal 11 force damage as Talos throws forth. Oh my god!
What?
It has 1 hit point left, guys. I know that cackle. I've done it myself tons of times.
How did you fucking know, Rum?
Because I that's the cackle I do when there's 1 hit point left.
1 hit point. Honu, death saving throw.
That saves down. Boom, boom, boom.
1 down. So yeah, I'll describe it. Talos shoots like Luke Skywalker firing the magic missiles into the Death Star. No, that's not right. It's the photon torpedoes into the Death Star. Talos fires his magic missiles. They curve around Luna. They curve over Honu, and they fly directly straight through its mouth and its like broken open side, and they strike something. And for a moment, like the AT-ATs with their legs tied together, this thing threatens to topple over. But then after a moment, it seems to stabilize itself, and it seems to raise its arms soar up menacingly as if to cut Honu in half in its last dying grasp. And then it's Luna's turn.
I like to think of like when you do the magic missiles that go over me and they go back down, and like they go up this thing's round body like it's the trench run, and then they hit the exhaust port that's like open on its neck or something.
Yep.
Kill it, Luna. Be a jukebox hero.
Yeah, she's gonna try.
Yeah, so your produce flames doesn't manage to catch it alight. It seems super resistant against, well, not resistant, but it seems to have protections against being set ablaze.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't, yeah, apparently. It is now its turn. It has Hal threatening its ass. But Tylos is the one that's been consistently fucking it up. It is going to attempt to try and put Halos down with a vengeance. And Talos also failed his fairy fire check, so these are all at advantage. So it puts forth two of its legs. The legs snap open to form.
They won't be at advantage, will they? Because Hell is in melee.
Correct. So these are simply at normal. Yeah, good catch. So 3 beams of like this intense, almost white light blasts forth from these prisms that appear out of the tip of the pincers, and they, like I said, they leave these almost like light motes in the air behind them in a solid beam. The 16 hit. I think it does.
Probably. I actually don't know what his AC is.
It doesn't have
yeah. Wow. What AC?
Yeah, what AC?
That hits.
And the second one.
That also hits.
And the third one, because I don't believe he's down yet. He's just bloodied. I think he might be down.
Okay, hold on. 13, 20.
Yeah,
I think that puts him down. Does he have shield?
He does, but he doesn't have it prepared.
You fool, Hylos.
Which seems to be an oversight in hindsight.
Yes, charm person prepared when we're venturing into a wilderness, but not shield.
Yeah. So he gets slammed 3 times and he just crumples against the wall and slides down in the heap. This thing curls back into a ball. The ball is fragmented and one half of it is hanging open almost. Hal, it is your turn.
Decisions, shit. Fuck, where's an AoE when you need one? Fucking 1 damage, Jesus. She's gonna move through here, because Luna seemed to be able to skip past easy enough earlier. Shit, I can't use my bonus action attack if I prepare an attack, so that's kind of screwed.
I will say that its metal defensive sphere form doesn't seem to be particularly as effective as it otherwise would be, because half of it is pretty much slag.
Even if it was, statistically I'm better making both my attacks now. So actually I think before she moves, she's gonna use her staff and she's gonna try hit it from from here.
I will remind you that this thing has 1 hit point. Oh, clang!
And
you hit the
she gets angry and tries to fucking punch it.
Oh,
holy shit!
Okay, describe how your clang followed up by your whatever melee attack manages to finally put this thing down.
She swings the fucking staff down, trying to just crack through this shell, and doesn't manage it. But, you know, the force of it causes... There's a plate which bends a little bit out of the way under the force of her staff hitting it. She sees the opening and just shoves her fist into the gap, grabs the first thing she can, puts her foot against it, and just tears backward, ripping out fucking something from the inside.
Fantastic! Roll me a deck saving throw, you and Luna.
Shit.
Where we wipe.
21.
Yeah, so you yank this thing out of your hand, and you see that it is some sort of like even without any arcane training, it is some sort of magical power source, and it seems to be unstable because it is currently cracking apart in your hand. And you throw it and dive out of the way, and it explodes in midair. The explosion catches Honu. You fail another death saving throw.
Okay.
You don't die, but you're at 2 failed saving throws, and it catches Honu. It catches Luna, dealing 8 fire damage. It is now Talos' turn. Actually, Talos is unconscious. Is Honu dead?
Well, it depends. I'd rolled that clicking on the second death saving throw, so that's up to you if you give me a roll or not. Because
Do you have inspiration for something?
I do. I was going to ask for that. I didn't mean to roll that then, but so it just showed up. I didn't. But I do have inspiration if you want to catch it and give me advantage.
I will allow you to ignore that roll and make a new roll.
That's fine. Here we go.
Kim.
Oh, Hanu's dead.
Kim, I really...
That's fine.
Hey, with combat
I really-
over, I was wondering if
I need to-
healed.
Well,
Kim, I need to
it's a turn order thing.
Kev, I need to ask something here. Would that thing have exploded if I didn't rip something out of its head anyway?
No, it's part of its death mechanic is that it.
Okay, I don't feel so bad anymore.
That's fine. I have another Honu in another game. I'll make something new.
I feel bad though. You're the first player I've killed. The
I
first
could have played her last night, and it wasn't even her fault. It was some other dickhead's fault.
right, Luna. You hear as this thing explodes, Honu is no longer moving, and you look behind you, and Talos is unconscious, collapses against the wall. He seems to be bleeding out. Hal picks herself off the ground. Hal picks herself off the ground and looks back. The spider thing, seems to be, for lack of a better word, melting. Like, it's not producing any heat, like as it melts, but the metal surface, the brassy surface of it seems to be running like water, and it's slowly like collapsing into a puddle, like slowly. I'm talking about it'll probably take an hour for it to fully collapse into a puddle.
Okay, I'm ignoring said Papa Bot, whatever you want to call it. And rushing over to Tylos. Tylos is unconscious.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that it's health.
Can I roll a thing to see if my one health potion did it break when it blew up? Can I roll a d20?
It wouldn't have broke.
Okay, so there's a potion on me, guys. You can get Tylos.
Yeah, you feed, no. Luna just feeds him a good berry, and he sputters awake, gasping and bleeding profusely from these nasty burn marks on his chest. It's not really bleeding. It's like actually it's like a railgun punch. So yeah, he's bleeding profusely, but he seems to be alive, and he gasps something like, "Did we get it?"
Yeah. How made it go poof?
You know the depressing thing, actually? Because it was a thing Hal ripped out that exploded, right?
Yeah, well,
I was originally going to attack it from the behind. 15 feet away from Honu.
Technically, the explosion was centered on its body.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I am not upset.
I called dibs on that.
And Tylos was out of range of it. Otherwise, he would have failed at their saving throw slot.
I just rolled bad, man. The dice.
So you guys have a moment. What are you guys doing? Talos is awake with 1 HP.
He has
Honu
five
is seemingly dead. Oh, because you have
10.
Oh yeah, okay. So he eats them one by one.
I go and retrieve Hanu's camera.
Hal is hiding in the corner, hugging Lith, being very quiet.
Lith is nowhere in sight.
Okay, she's not hugging anyone, forever alone.
Actually, no. You know what? At this point, Lith and Esmeralda, they come back. They appear at the other lift entrance, and Esmeralda runs over with Lith beside Honu and crouches down beside his body, and then she mutters something underneath her breath like, "Ah, shit." Oh, so you're going out to the golden plaque that's 100 feet out.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? Lith follows you, but Esmeralda stays here. And she says to Hal and Talos, crap! What happened? And she starts to administer emergency medical attention to Honu. But after a few moments, it's clear that that's not going to do anything, and she kind of gives up. Does Hal respond, or does Tylos respond?
Tylos is writing his bow and whatnot, and says something vaguely sentimental, but looks like he's struggling to do the sentiment thing.
As you guys gather your thoughts, and Tylos kind of collects himself and pulls himself to his feet, and Luna's wandered off somewhere. you hear the telltale sounds of rumbling as the automatons on the bottom floor start shifting along their tracks as they're being pulled forwards. Esmeralda looks up and she looks at Talos and Hal seriously, and she says, "Look, we need to get the fuck out of here. Quick, take his other arm." And she puts her puts her head underneath one of Honu's shoulders, underneath his armpit, and she attempts to hoist him to his feet, or hoist his body to his feet at least.
Yeah, Hal's going to help carry him.
All right, and as I won't make a check for this. It's easy enough. Even though Honu weighs a bit, with a bit of struggle, with three of your help, you guys put yourselves, underneath his arms and haul his remains out the front. You pass by Luna, who's has some sort of like a knife or a dagger or a chisel, and she's carving some engravings. You look down and it says Honu, and then whatever date it is, and then it says he owned it for a minute. He only owned it for a minute. And then she writes Luna's name beside it, so I own it now. No, I'm kidding.
No, she'll do that, yeah. Luna owns it now. She'll put the date on it as well.
Alright, so as you retreat from this headland bridge, and you arrive at the peninsula at the edge of the lake, you take about... Which direction do you guys go? Where are you guys planning on retreating to at this point?
Town.
Okay. I'll bring you back to the overall map. You are... Yeah, I mean, you're where you are at the moment. Are you planning on heading northwest towards your previous campsite? Or are you planning on heading northeast, going back towards where you found the remains of the sacked Alvin camp?
Elle wants to go to the northeast.
She'll follow.
Stay back the lake.
Okay. So you make it about 100, 200 feet away from the very base of the pier. Are
there some nice trees around?
Yeah, there are some nice trees around, yeah.
Okay, that's going to be Hal's thing for the evening when everyone sets up. She's going to make a raft.
Oh, okay. So no, but let me complete this sentence first. So as you make it about 200 feet away from the tip of the pier where it meets land, you go to pass by some trees by a shoreline, and you hear the telltale sounds of some rustles of things moving underbrush. How do you respond?
How's Lift responding to this?
Okay, so you turn into a direwolf. Esmeralda kind of quickly, almost unceremoniously dumps Honu, and fetches the bow off her shoulder and knocks an arrow. And I guess you assume some sort of defensive stance. From behind various bushes, trees, rocks, pops about a dozen kobolds. They're not immediately attacking you, but they're all armed with short bows, throwing sticks, stone knives, and a third one climbs on top of another kobold climbs on top of a rock. This one's different though. This one's wearing a hat, and it's a miner's hat, and it has a candle on the front of it.
You son of a bitch! Does it say take candle?
No, and it shakes a stick at you, and it says, "You take metal." And then that's where we'll leave the session for this week.
He said what? Sorry.
Take metal.
Okay.
And that's where we'll leave this cliffhanger for this week. I'm fine on playing next week, by the way, if everyone else is. And I think Peter will be back by next week anyway, so...
I don't think I have any plans.
Okay. Just let me know.
Yeah, I should be free next week.
I may or may not be making a new character on D&D Beyond.
I mean, we can talk about that. Like I said, resurrection magics are a thing, but it's up to you. I mean, it's not the most common thing in the world, but they are a thing.
Yeah, I'm good leaving him dead. If anything, it just proves his mom right. Going out adventuring, you're going to get yourself killed. You're not like a champ, though.
Yeah. Holy shit. Do you realize that thing? Oh my god, I can't believe you guys.
It's funny, I wanted to make a wizard, but I'm thinking like making a hexblade.
You guys like annihilated that thing.
Fucking Tylos did, man.
Woohoo for absolute
I had
right?
Paid MVP of session despite not showing up.
Yep.
That's what happens when you don't show up. Your tank gets killed.
I'll be completely frank, it was way out of your guys' league. Like,
We showed it.
yeah. You guys did surprisingly well considering.
Do they get to go to 4? Get to go to 4?
No, that's not a milestone. It's just a really hard fight.
Can't hurt that.
It wasn't that long ago, but we leveled up anyway.
Yeah, I know. I just figured it couldn't hurt the ass. It doesn't matter to me either way.
Right, so take middle is how we end the session.
Pete's gonna show up later like, hey guys, what happened? And, oh boy.